I don't even care that our microphones aren't muted. It's too funny.
Cheeseburger.
Let's see. Where's my intro? Everything's all out of sorts now. There we go.
Sweet.
All right. What is up, everybody? And welcome to the first. When we did one last week, it was before New Year's, right? Right.
It's actually
The first.
the 6th.
Yes.
Late to the party news of the year. What a year it's already been so far. We're probably not going to talk about some of the stuff you think we're going to talk about. We could mention it, but our friend in the north over here might get in trouble if there's certain things that we have to be careful to keep him out of unsavory situations.
Canada jail.
Let's be honest, it's jail.
So there's been certain things that have happened today, actually both in Canada and America, which that's actually kind of funny too. And as much as I saw funny video clips and funny memes, we're gonna leave that one alone too, just because I don't really want to get into it. Lots of people are talking about the Golden Globes. Nobody gives two flying shits about award shows anymore. We're not going to talk about that at all. Yeah. Anyways, here we are, 2025. We made it. We're still alive. Hope everybody made it.
Dead on the inside.
Two of the people on this panel are just like probably barely starting to get into their winters where you're really getting the cold weather and the snow and the everything. And then two of the people on this panel are basically still living in summertime.
Damn commies. At least your commune's nice and warm though, so you know.
We have a much better compound. Yes.
But you know, California is not that dissimilar from Canada, unfortunately, because as much as the news that broke in Canada today, good and bad, Devon and I were talking about it earlier, and he's like, yeah, it's good news, but other stupid things are probably going to follow. And I was like, yeah, it's not unlike California, because like right now we have Gavin Newsom in power of the state of California. And even though this is his last term, when he's done, the other idiots of California will probably elect some other moron that's going to continue to ruin our beautiful state, unfortunately. But
isn't Kamala
enough
from California?
Well, there is actually
there's rumors. There's talk.
I've hope seen this. And that's it was the gal who was Bobby Kennedy's running mate. Whose name is escaping me now, and I wish it wasn't. I drank like a whole bottle of scotch this weekend, so you'll have to forgive me. But she now, while she is left, because she's not going to be, I mean, Bobby Kennedy is left, but she did have the bucket of realism dumped on her during this election cycle. So she understands a lot of things she didn't before. And if we got to have one, she would definitely be a better pick than anything the establishment is going to throw at us. So that's my take on it. Nicole Shanahan. Thank you. Yeah. So there's always, like I said, there's always hope. I'd rather have her than pretty much any other creature that they're going to dig up, plop on the plate, put in the microwave for us and go, here you go.
But, you know, it's California, so who knows what's going to happen. But, yeah.
That's why they need Larry Elder in there, so he actually, you know, fixes things.
Well, Larry Elder would have been a great candidate, but
we all know what the left said about Larry Elder. Those are things we can't say on the channel without getting shadowed.
The left doesn't like black people. That's what I got from that whole left does not like black people.
You know what the funny thing is I can never remember his name. And so I literally just Google what they call him to find the news article. You're like, Larry Elder. That's what it is.
Oh, that guy.
Yes, the left.
Oh,
man.
Tolerant left.
But Roman, yeah, it's been a couple weeks since we've had you on. I know you had obviously, family stuff going on, but we always miss having you on. How are you doing, buddy? How's
I'm doing well.
2025
Yeah,
treating you so far?
Thank you for having me back. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, but the daughter of the empire.
It was a
middle daughter
slim
of the
margin
empire
before I was about to be like, you know what, we're just gonna not have him on anymore. We're just
No, my life is a house of cards, you know that. So
no,
one little
no,
thing falls
family's
apart.
important.
So tonight,
I know.
the card came out, but it fell in place so I could be on the show tonight. So that all worked out. But yeah, great Christmas, great New Year's. My daughter was here. My kids from LA were down, and it was good. I had a blowout weekend.
Like I count as one of your kids. Apparently, you got your kids. Like
my other non-natural
real biological children.
I did get some records over the holiday though, because it's important.
That's always the top
record
thing on my, did Roman buy any records this week?
So these were gifts though. Everything I got were gifts. So this is Cro-Mags. It was a gift from Matt the drummer. And then Mrs. of the Empire gifted me these, although I actually bought one of them because it was like a hard to find item. Not this one. This is Rob Zombie, which is eaten out.
Oh, too much green. Too much green.
Zombie, fucking poser. AC/DC's Highway to Hell.
Nice.
And the last one is the one that I bought for myself, and I'm like tucked it away because I'm like, well, just give it to me later, honey, because it was kind of expensive. Was the three-legged dog, Alice in Chains.
Nice.
Yes. But that was the hard to find item. So, but everything else I'm pretty excited about. I hadn't heard the Cro-Mags until a couple of weeks ago, and my drummer's like,
Sammy,
how did you not do this?
What's up,
Sammy.
Yeah, buddy.
It was good. It was good.
Nice.
Good.
So it's funny. I remember I talked about this a lot last year, and unfortunately, I have a bad habit of usually around this time, January, beginning of the year, kind of just letting the channel die because lots of different reasons. But I'm going to make a conscious effort to keep it going this year. But last January, so 1 year ago, the Alice in Chains Jar of Flies EP turned 30 years old. I would still like to do a stream about it. I'll have to make a funny thumbnail this year about like cross out the 0, make it 31. Okay, now it's 31 years old. But the Jar of Flies EP by Alice in Chains is definitely one of those lightning in a bottle moments of the music world. They came back from tour. They were basically homeless because they were kicked out of wherever they were living. They were kicked out of their practice space or whatever, and like they rented this space in a recording studio. Basically, like, we're going to rent this space in a recording studio. We're going to record, but we're also going to basically live here. We have no material written. We have nothing ready. They went in with absolutely nothing written and nothing ready, and came out with Jar of Flies, which I think is like one of their best works. So I think that's worth talking about. We're just going to be 1 year late. It's going to be the 31-year anniversary of Jar of Flies, but that is this month. So one of the Mondays we'll hopefully probably get that going. I know that's older than you, Devon.
Yes, by a few years.
I can't live like this.
Oh boy! And then, as always, we've got Blair to Blair with us. How you doing, buddy? How was the holiday season, Christmas, New Year's, all that good stuff?
Good. We just stayed around home, family. It wasn't too bad. It finally snowed today, but we had the remains of a white Christmas on Christmas, so there was some white on the ground. But it melted the next day.
It was green
here.
It was not green here today.
Green's the stretch. Yeah. It was yellow.
Because I know you're saying it's like you, Blair. I know you're saying you get some winters. It's like you guys don't get any snow at all. Like it still gets cold, but you don't necessarily get snow. So you're saying like you just sort of barely kind of got your first snow after Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
It looks nice out there.
All right. And then Devon, I know you were in a little bit of a battle of wits with some people on Instagram today who told you to go touch grass, and in your snow-covered space that you were in, you found a tiny patch of grass to go and touch because someone on Instagram told you to go touch grass.
So John and I were talking about the fact that if you check out my Instagram, you can find like a highlight reel of all the times I get to troll people that like spam message people. And I enjoy that. No one sent me any messages for a while. So I decided to just argue with someone who has Elon derangement syndrome, who's just, I don't know, going
Nice.
off
Solid.
about
Solid.
how Cybertrucks are just the bane of people's existence. I don't know. Anyways,
And now
people
just,
are dumb.
because of the one that exploded in front of the Trump
Yeah.
Tower in Vegas. Oh, apparently they're just all randomly
Phrasing,
exploding. It's like,
phrasing.
Yeah.
It didn't just explode; it was blown up in front of Trump Tower.
Yeah. That was, I was like,
Exploding is a result of the
long story
detonation.
short, though,
Oh,
he kind of got into it with someone who, like, they were trying to claim, like, oh, well, these vehicles are faulty and have all sorts of recalls and stuff. And he's like, yeah, but this is the first time that one is just ignited. We haven't exactly
and it
seen
was on
Cybertrucks
purpose.
just exploding randomly. Like,
oh man,
No.
the touch
I don't
grass
even like
part.
them, but no.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like he's like, do you drive a Tesla? It's like, no, I drive a Rav4. Like,
it's like, I'm just
oh, man.
not an idiot, and I don't hate Elon because I disagree with stuff that he says.
Yeah. The best part about the touch grass thing is like you're arguing with someone whose name is Salmon Outdoors. Like I hunt and fish and I go hiking and like I'm blue collar. That's about as touch grass as you can get. Like, sure, I troll people on the internet, but like, come on. People are just so dumb. It was fun. I was enjoying it. It's been a while.
A good internet fight is a good time.
It was a jolly good time.
John can attest. They're getting pretty upset, and I was just dying. It's been too much fun.
It's just
yeah, exactly.
You come to a point to where it's like, okay, like obviously these people are being way too serious. They don't know how to take a joke. They don't know how to pick up on the fact that someone is messing with them. So you just gotta you just gotta keep messing with them, and then when they just keep pushing, you just gotta say,
yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Exactly. Oh man.
So yeah, like we said, Canada got some big news today. Whether it will actually change things or make a difference is yet to be seen. But in the meantime, congratulations to you. I hope the best for you, but we'll see. Also, at the same time, it is the anniversary of that date to which we had to watch. Well, we didn't have to. We probably actually enjoyed watching, but watched Harris go and have to certify the vote that she lost.
That's funny.
And
hilarious.
All the people that just like when the camera zoomed in and you could just like see it on their faces that they just like they couldn't believe what was happening and
it was good
what they were doing. But how would us Brits know which far right bandwagon to jump on if we didn't have Elon? Good point. That's a good point. Yeah, but it's the because first we had Trump derangement syndrome. Now we have Elon derangement syndrome. And don't get me wrong, I don't love everything that Elon says and does. I do think he's a really, really brilliant mind. He's an incredibly intelligent person. And definitely says a lot of things that people don't like. I don't align with everything that he says and does, but I crack up at the fact that when he came out with the Tesla cars, with the all electric vehicle, he's the savior of the world. He's gonna fix climate change. He's made electric cars and stuff. And then he started saying stuff that people didn't like, and all of a sudden they're like, "Wait, we don't like this guy anymore." Like.
Yeah, come on. He's an African-American business owner who's probably the richest person in the States or pretty stinging close. And he's running an all-electric car company. Like that should be, oh man. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Part of me almost wonders because like Elon is kind of a troll. If you watch, like, when he's been on like the Joe Rogan podcast, if you watch his Twitter, if you watch, it's like I almost wonder if he's just one of those guys that like he had so much money that he made the Tesla company just to like troll all the weirdos that are like, we're gonna buy electric cars because it's gonna save the world. And then he's like, haha, you're dumb. There's nowhere to charge them. Like,
oh man. I was talking with my helper today about like the cars and stuff. One of my friends owns an engineering company in Calgary, and he was explaining the fact that like they design these subdivisions, and by code they all have to have the availability to hook up a like an electric car charger. He's like, oh, that's cool. All 300 houses all have this, and 10 of them can actually install them, because if not, the grid can't handle it. He's like, good job. You thought that out well.
Same thing right here in California. So even where I live in like blue state, super liberal California, you can only install so many of those like per neighborhood. So like if where I live, it's like this house gets a Tesla and installs the thing in their garage, and then this house gets a thing and installs whatever. Then like the rest of the people in the neighborhood, they're going to be like, sorry, we're maxed out. You can't install a charging station in your garage because the grid can't handle it. And it's like, we all remember the message that old Gavin Newsom put out there in like the dead of summer when we're reaching like 110, 115 degree days. He's in an air conditioned room with like a jacket and a hat on going, oh, don't run your air conditioner, don't do laundry, and don't run your appliances, and don't charge your electric car because the grid can't handle it. And we all need to do our part to, flex their power and save energy and stuff. And I'm like, I'll turn off my AC and stop doing laundry when you do, because I'm pretty sure you're running your AC at your governor's mansion, buddy. Like,
well, the best part of that was
every time when they're always like, oh, conserve and bike to work and everything and stuff. And it's like, okay, the politicians say these things. I'm like, I'll do it when the politicians do it.
Yeah.
I want to see Todd Gloria biking to work in his suit on a bicycle.
The best part of all of that was that it came out a week after he's like, yeah, we're not going to have any more gas cars made or purchased in California by whatever year it was. And then a week later, it's like, yeah, charge your car or run your AC. You can't do both.
But then also they have a thing where there's like a not like a buyback program. There's some sort of incentive program in California. Like if you buy an EV, like an electric vehicle, there was going to be like like a tax break or something, whatever. And like Gavin Newsom signed a thing in that's like, oh, we're going to exclude Tesla from that program. So if you buy an electric vehicle, fine, cool. We're going to give you kickbacks and tax breaks, but not if it's a Tesla. And it's like, you
can get the Chevy
son
Bolt.
of a bitch.
Yeah.
The baloney of the electric vehicles. Although, I mean, I don't like electric vehicles anyway. I'm against the concept.
No,
I think it's
the
time has not come. But that's neither here nor there. But you can still distinguish between what is good and what is not. It's a stupid policy for a stupid country that does stupid things, and that's
and
unfortunately
like I'd buy a hybrid, and I actually was going to my RAV4. I was going to buy the hybrid version, but they didn't have any in Ontario.
Yes, that's true. And
you're
that
probably not wrong, Sammy. And our tax dollars will pay for it. Welcome to California.
I hate it here so much.
All I know is that he has blown the lid off some awful stuff that successive UK governments have tried to cover up and allowed the voices of victims to finally be heard. He has my thanks for that. Are we talking about Gavin Newsom?
No, Elon.
No.
Oh, Elon. Okay, I was like, hold on a second. Like Gavin actually did something good.
Gavin Newsom would have definitely been part of a cover-up if that were here.
Well, I'm pretty sure Gavin was probably on the Epstein list and maybe at them Diddy parties, but who knows?
Allegedly,
we know Oprah was.
It's really funny. I loved when the UK was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna start charging Americans for like what they write on social media."
Can't do that, by the way.
I love that. I loved all the memes that came from that. That's like riot, please come here. How'd that work for you the first time? All right, it didn't. Exactly.
Yeah, the funny thing is, there's a lot of things we do over here that are not legal in the UK. Also, funny thing is, we don't give a fuck because of that war we fought in 1776. It's it's right. A little bit ago. You guys might have forgotten.
All right,
and in that time frame, you guys have only grown stronger. Yeah, it's not like your military's gotten weaker over that time period. Not at all.
Not one bit.
Like, try it, UK.
God,
good times. Politics are all up in the air right now. It's just a comedy show. Just a complete.
No, we're just ripping.
Did you see old Nancy on the floor of the house?
Oh
today?
Yeah,
fucking Walker.
Pepper Walker getting out there with her vodka shakes and her new hip.
Did you see the AI
Term limits.
Did you see the AI video they did?
The AI version was really good. The AI version
which one?
Great.
They're like they're bumping into her.
Hilarious.
And then a fight breaks out.
That.
They start beating her with her walker, and it is hilarious.
This is why, seriously, like, we need term limits. Like, why is this so difficult? Like,
it's not term limit; it's cognitive limits. You know, when you, in America, when you drive a car,
50% at least, 80% of the people, even that are under 60, are still going to be kicked out. Like, do you think AOC has a high IQ? No.
There's a reason why if you work for a company, whatever kind of company, the preferred retirement age is around 65, plus or minus a few years. It's like, there's a reason why they're sort of like, hey, we want you to go enjoy your life. We want to bring in some new people, but it's like, 65 and beyond, it's like, you maybe shouldn't be driving, maybe you shouldn't be operating heavy machinery, maybe you shouldn't be making decisions that affect the entire country.
Now, let's go.
It's just AI, folks.
Yeah, don't even worry. The Metropolitan Police can't stop shoplifters or kids with cricket bats. So yeah, Jay, that's actually kind of funny. So California finally signed in a bill where, because up until recently, it was like, it wasn't considered a crime unless it was like over $1,000 worth of something like that.
Misdemeanor that they wouldn't process.
Now they've made it a felony.
It was the law before. Then they put in Prop 49, which made it so under $1,000 it wasn't. And then they're like, why is all this crime happening?
Why are all the businesses
so crazy? I don't know why Walmart and Target are having to lock everything up behind glass now.
Michael's or whatever.
And why, why are stores closing? Why are drugstores closing? Why are businesses leaving inner cities and going nowhere? So they have no stores for the elderly and the race, like the minority population that you guys love so much.
It was like, wasn't it like the In-N-Out burger in I think Oakland had to close because of crime?
Yeah,
one of the most popular burger places in all of California that has expanded out into sort of like the West Coast, Midwest, well, not quite the Midwest, but getting there, getting close. But the one in Oakland had to close.
Well, San Francisco closed how many different branches of their stuff because it was just too dangerous?
Oh yeah, like Starbucks and
CVS,
like all sorts of big chain stuff.
Yep. CVS and like. No, we're trying to be robbed and
walking around in downtown San Diego. Even like the 7-Eleven in downtown San Diego has to have an A-frame sign out front of their front door that's like, please don't give money to panhandlers out of concern for safety of our employees and our patrons. And it's just like, don't feed the hobos because they just hang around and they're unsafe. And our staff is worried for their safety. Our customers are worried for their safety. Like, welcome to California. Gavin Newsom's California. Hey,
they're diseased and
oh yeah, they're just pissing and shitting on the sidewalk in broad daylight. It's wonderful. It's great. Downtown San Diego at noon.
That's down here now too. That's not just San Francisco. It's not just Los Angeles. It is here in San Diego. They brought
downtown San Diego at high noon. Broad daylight does not feel safe. Granted, this was after dark, whatever. But a musician friend of mine who plays at a particular bar downtown, like every Tuesday, got a guitar amp stolen right under his nose. He was like loading his car up and turned his back for a second, got distracted, and some dude rolled through on a bike and swiped his guitar amp.
Crazy.
God.
Welcome to California.
Don't go downtown.
Let's talk a little bit about, I've got all sorts of fun stuff to talk about here, but so the Soundgarden thing I talked about recently. I think I talked about this maybe on a Wednesday a little bit ago, but then more, as the dude says, more shit has come to light. And there were videos of, what's her name? Shayna Shepherd, who was filling in for the late, great Chris Cornell on a hope to God, I hope this really was just a one-off, which I think it was. I think it was just a one-off, but this story, this article I have right here says December 15th, but videos have been resurfacing again recently, but I think it's from the same performance. I think it was a one-off. where she tried to crowd surf.
Do you have the video?
I have the video. Hold on. And
okay, because the video is so good.
From no other than Not the Bee. Well, I'm sure we're all
they parted like Moses in the Red Sea.
Oh yeah, they were not getting under that thing.
Oh, man.
That's like if a whale breaches, you don't want your shit underneath it when it lands.
Hold on, where did it go? It's not in my list here. Surviving members, live stream, keep Primus.
Fabulous.
I think she had enough padding. I think she's okay though. But
oh, there we go.
Enough padding.
Why did I not? I don't know. Okay.
Oh,
Let's go up here. We got
Sammy.
Soundgarden's new lead singer, which again, I feel like the headline is a little bit of clickbait because I don't think they're permanently replacing Cornell yet, but
I don't think
seeing the way that Linkin Park went, who knows? Because everything's a fucking DEI hire at this point.
Oh man.
God.
But the headline from Not the Bee, which I'm sure we're all big fans of, Soundgarden's new lead singer attempted a stage dive and it did not end well for her. So let's go ahead and continue on. At a recent Seattle reunion concert for Soundgarden, the new vocalist tried crowd surfing but landed on the floor instead. Shayna Shepherd replaces the late Chris Cornell. So again, before we even play this, I'm going to preface this by saying that they performed under the pseudonym of New Dragons, which is like a whatchamacallit, what's the word when you like scramble the letters? Anagram of Soundgarden. But this is still too friggin' hilarious.
There are two things before you start, John. The crowd is made up largely of men my age, and there aren't a lot of them. So these are two giant problems. The third giant problem is the one that tries to crush the men. So
the walkers that they're all carrying.
There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things leading up to what's about to happen.
They couldn't catch her because they had to hang on to their walkers, right, Roman?
You know, all those guys are like, no, I'm back.
Okay, but also
get out of there. I gotta get out of there.
I mean, some of the
Nancy Pelosi,
some of the
front row.
comments. I don't know if I'll be able to because I'm like pulling this up on an article. Like it's a Twitter post, X post, whatever the hell you want to call it. But it's in an article. But when Lady Marine sent me this clip, Roman also sent me this clip. When I looked at the comments, so it was like, because I fell on black days, and one was like, oh, it's like she saw a chicken wing on the ground and parted it like Moses in the Red Sea, and just like the comments did not miss the point. Let me just say, like the comments are so good.
Her own comment at the end of it,
but just to absolutely make sure, because I forget to click the button sometimes. I want to make sure I click the audio. Okay, we've got share
because
audio.
Her comment at the end of this is all on its own gold.
Let's take a look here.
Damn.
Let's take a second look.
It didn't say it. I don't think it plays a part.
That they were all just like, nope.
Oh man.
Because, so like you said, Roman, this is a crowd of people largely around your age. They were not prepared to catch her.
So what she said at the end, though, she's like, I knew I was too heavy for you motherfuckers. She says it at the end of the complete video. That one didn't have that part on it, but I've seen other ones where it's got the end of it. I don't know, I was too heavy for you motherfuckers.
It's so bad, and we can only hope that this really was just because, like I said, this article now that
I don't see
pulled up is
it's not the 90s anymore.
It was a Seattle benefit concert. They went under like a pseudonym, and Duff McKagan came out and sang a couple songs. So one can only hope that this really is the case, and that these guys are not seriously trying to be like, oh, well, if Linkin Park can do it, then so
no, I doubt it. Soundgarden's an old band. And I just mean they're from
old guys in it.
They're old guys. They're so this
look at them. They're all graybeards.
They
the guy on the right
they look like
green.
us. So No, I don't think this is a replacement.
Let's just take a peek here. What do we got here?
It's still funny.
Oh, am I going to get an ad? Is that what's about to happen here? What's happening?
I don't know what Wix is, but I don't want it.
Your business.
Wix is a website developer.
With Wix, you get advanced AI
How do I mute
capabilities.
Skip.
Hold on, I'll pull it back up when the ad's over.
It's like I'm working with a child.
Okay, there we go.
The guy on the right looks like red green, by the way, if you pay attention. If you know who red green is.
Yeah.
Red green is a treasure.
Skip a bit here.
Red green on base.
Can't even hear.
Oh, this is a long clip, dude. This is like a full.
This is only 7 minutes long. This is the whole set.
Okay, let's stop that.
Yeah, you only want that much.
We don't even want that.
Okay, here, I know this one.
All respect to pork choppings.
So bad.
Stop it.
This is actually, I'm just gonna say it right now. This is actually worse than the Linkin Park reunion.
That's what I was thinking. Oh man,
it's worse than Emily Armstrong trying to replace Chester Bennington. This is bad.
When you had said it another DEI thing, it's really funny because when something isn't a DEI, when it's actually good, when they're not a DEI hire, like Nick Fury being played by Samuel Jackson, like no one complained about that because it's Samuel Jackson, man. Like
and he did a good job as an actor. Exactly. He is a good actor.
Denzel Washington, man, this is just not good.
What? Like two felines humping.
Oh man!
Like two dogs in a plastic bag fighting.
Do you think like the other three guys are up there and just like, dude, we just needed the paycheck. Like we haven't done anything since Chris died. We just needed the money. Like, oh Jacob, son of a bitch.
No, Sammy, this is...
All right, I think that's enough. My ears can't take anymore.
Stop it.
You see all the people with their phones out recording that train crash because they just can't look away.
I haven't had liquor in a year. Yeah, that would do it. This may have broke a lot of people's dry January.
Yeah.
And
dry January, 6 days in. Congratulations, and I'm sorry.
Lady Marine, is this worse or better than the Emily Armstrong thing? What do you think?
Boy, that's quite the tall order. That's yeah,
quite a round order as well.
Get out of my way.
What's that? This, my friend, is a pint. It comes in pints. I'm getting one. You've had a whole half already.
John, did you see Nosferatu?
I did. Yes.
That was worse than Nosferatu's dick.
Oh my god.
Hey, it's really cold in that castle, all right, man? Like... Okay, but
it's cold-blooded, okay? Or probably doesn't have any blood.
You enjoyed the movie. Yes, it was a good movie.
Oh, I thought the movie was fantastic. It was
that scene was hilarious,
Had some incredibly disturbing imagery. Not the least of which was Nosferatu's dick. You didn't expect that. It just kind of was there. And all of you, oh, hey, big fella, there's a family show. Put the mouse back in the house. And he's like,
so it was rated R. There was nothing family about it.
No, it wasn't. It was. We can talk about that another time, but it was a fantastic movie. Robert Eggers does good work. I mean, if you're familiar with this stuff, if you like his stuff, you'll like it. If you don't like his stuff, you won't. I mean, he has a very definitive style
really
film.
I think they could have chopped some of the time out of it. It was
I
a bit long.
That much.
But it was but it was a great movie. It was really good. So during the trailers, because now I'm actually kind of curious. I don't think I'm curious enough to go see this in the theater, but how do you guys, I know Roman and Blair, you guys both saw it, the Wolfman movie.
I didn't see the Wolfman.
Werewolves?
They didn't show a trailer for it?
Oh, yeah.
No, I saw the trailer for the Wolfman. I'm sorry.
The trailer for the new Wolfman coming out this year. What do you guys think of that?
I don't really care.
I won't go to the theater.
No, I'll probably watch it when it's
I'll
free.
I'll stream that. Yeah. I'm interested. I like werewolf movies, so.
I like werewolf movies generally as well, but quite honestly, most of them are B movies, which are better at home. And if you go to the theater, you're going to be like, man, I hated that. If you watch it at home, you're going to be like, that wasn't so bad.
I saw Werewolves in the theater. It was pretty good.
I started watching that the other night, and I that's the same night I drank half a bottle of scotch. So then after I fell asleep,
don't remember it.
My family put on Dexter. I did see the new Bob Dylan biopic, The Complete Unknown. That was good.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That was good. Not as good as Nosferatu, not the same caliber of movie, but same dude who did Walk the Line.
So Bob Dylan was not a vampire.
What's his name? Margles, the director. But it was not a lot. You don't get a lot of what Bob Dylan's life was about. It's you get kind of pepperings of that, but it's a lot of fun performances. Everybody performs their stuff. So Timothy Chalamet did a great job. The guy who played Johnny Cash, though, was killer. He was my favorite part of the movie. Because this is Johnny Cash in his drugged up, drunk phase. So he's just looking for chaos. He was great. It was just so much fun. So,
was there somebody playing Robbie Robertson in this movie?
From the no, I don't think so.
Okay.
You're gonna have to forgive me. I don't think because it was mostly Dylan and Joan Baez were the two primary characters of the film. Then you had a lot of other kind of random things. The Johnny Cash part he wasn't even like a prominent part of the movie. He was in it for a little bit here, a little bit there.
Because when Dylan did the electric stuff, the group he had with him is called The Band, and Robbie Robertson was in that, and Levon Helm.
It's entirely possible. I didn't get a lot of the guys who were in that part of the movie just kind of wandered in. You're like, all right, now you're here. So you didn't, like I said, you don't get a lot of deep inside knowledge on Dylan's life. It was just kind of a fun movie, but we enjoyed it.
That's cool. Because I read Robbie's autobiography about that time period when he just started to go electric, and they hated them.
Oh yeah, they were pissed.
The first half of the concert was them playing folk. He played folk, and then when it switched to electric, people rioted. They started throwing shit. They started rushing the stage, trying to get up on the stage to beat him. They had to cancel the show. It became like a big circus when he first went electric. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and Johnny Cash encouraged him to do it.
Yeah. Well, the folk thing kind of ran its course. What are you gonna do?
No, and it's true. I mean, so what they were doing in somewhere in freaking Rhode Island, and I'm forgetting the name of the place, but every year they would put on a big folk festival. Started in the late 50s, early 60s, and then by 1965, this is when he's making his big changeover, and he's also the big draw to the show. So they want to play folk. He wants to play more of a rock style, because even Dylan's rock stylings are still pretty folky, but by their standards, it was complete change up. So, but it was anyway. I would wait for it probably to come to home video again. We went just because we had time, but I didn't feel like I wasted time at the theater seeing it.
Or sail the seven seas, yar.
No, I very rarely. I do not like going to the movie theater very often. I've said many times over. I typically like to only go to the theater if it's a Christopher Nolan movie. Nosferatu, I made this special exception for because they made a point, and I appreciated this. They made a point to keep the look of Count Orlok totally under lock, under wraps, and secret until like you had to go see the movie to see what he looked like. And even throughout the movie, when you first kind of saw him, like he was kind of in the shadows and at a distance, and it's like little by little they kind of peeled back, and you didn't really get a really good look at him until the very end, except that one.
And then you get a really good look at him.
One scene.
No, that was actually earlier in the movie.
It was a little scene.
It was kind of dark, but you saw it. It was like So, but that was still kind of dark, where it's like you didn't see the rest of the, whatever. But there was like that mystery and that thing of like you want to go see the movie to see what he looks like, but more often than not now, movie trailers give away everything. Like the new Captain America movie, like Captain America's already put it out there that like, okay, General Ross becomes Red Hulk. Why should we go see the movie now? There's the Red Hulk. Okay, I'll wait for streaming, and even then I might not watch it. They had a couple
of spy movies.
I don't care about Marvel anymore. Like,
they also gave away
kind of the same thing with. Kind of the same thing with that new Wolfman movie. Like I said, that I'm probably not going to go see it in. I'm not going to go see it in the theater, but I appreciated that the trailer didn't give it all away. It's like there's still some mystery to be had of when you finally watch it and like what does the Wolfman thing look like in the 2025 version. And too many movie trailers now. They just like they put it all out there. It's like you can watch a 2-3 minute long trailer and be like, all right, I've seen the whole movie. Like why should
right?
Yeah, the dark room for 3 hours where if I go to the bathroom, I can't pause it and I'm gonna miss it.
Yep. It's gonna get to the point where they're just gonna like start having the trailers and be like, a man does whatever, but there's a twist, and the twist is this, and it's like, okay, thank you for telling us the entire movie plot, and that's basically what they're gonna turn into if it follows
pretty much
course.
Where we're at.
Dumb.
It's just, unlike Austin Powers, Nosferatu lost his bits and pieces. What?
What happened to Austin Powers?
I thought he would do like wallet watches, spectacles, testicles. I don't know. But we've got let's see, what else do we have to talk about here? There is the 3 remaining members of Jane's Addiction are working on new music. We've got the members of Avenged Sevenfold calling out Ticketmaster on their dynamic pricing and how other artists are playing dumb, like they don't know what's going on. What do we
because that's new. You're not aware of Ticketmaster price gouges. In other news,
in other news, the government hates you.
Yeah, right. Well, this one, let's see. Yeah, we could probably like skim through this one fairly quickly because we don't need all like the details. But M Shadows from Avenged Sevenfold's M Shadows unmasks truth behind dynamic ticket pricing. Artists love to hide behind Live Nation and Ticketmaster and say, "Oh, gee, we had no clue." It's not Ticketmaster just taking all the top end.
I saw a good video this week on a breakdown of how these companies got formed and how they run stuff and how they make their money and how everybody gets screwed.
Monopoly.
Well, and the fact that Ticketmaster and Live Nation have 1000% become a monopoly, which when they merged, that was part of like a court order that they wouldn't become a monopoly, but then they became a monopoly and everyone's like, what the hell? Like you let this happen. Like
we promise we won't do the thing that we're going to do.
Yeah, right.
Like any big concert that's in a stadium or an arena or anything, you're buying your tickets either through Ticketmaster or Live Nation. There are some smaller venues locally that might use different third-party websites, but really overall,
doesn't use them.
You're using Ticketmaster or Live Nation. The prices are the same. They own the venues. They take a cut of the merch sales. Like it's amazing that people are just like, this is fine. So he goes on to say, he's like, Ticketmaster applies the dynamic pricing model with artist consent. The subject arose as the singer explained how expensive it is to get a tour going nowadays, which also influences ticket prices. People want to ignore that we live in a capitalist society. Oh, say it ain't so. Where there's two things going on. Artists want to be compensated for whatever the fair market value is for their work. If there's 2,000 seats in a venue, the artist could be really nice and charge $50 and not make any money, or go do it because they just want to do it. And then a reseller could sell a few hundred of those tickets for upwards of $1,000 per ticket because there's fans that will pay it. Now, the reason dynamic pricing even ever got introduced is because the artist and the management said, why is the reseller making 10 times than the artist on stage? There's this many tickets that will sell for this much. Why aren't we charging that much? And so Ticketmaster they created a tool that allows artists to opt in to dynamic pricing. It's very clear Ticketmaster created a tool to allow artists to opt into this. It's not Ticketmaster just taking all the top end, it's the artists, and the artists love to hide behind Live Nation and Ticketmaster and go, oh, we had no idea, we can't believe it. That if you ask most people, if someone's buying a ticket for $1,000, do you want the money to go to the reseller or to the artist? Most people will say we want it going to the artist, but they also don't want the ticket to be that highly priced, and then they also don't want you to take away their ability to resell the ticket. So it's this whole thing of like, people don't want to pay $1,000 for a concert ticket. They want to. They would prefer that the money goes to the artist, but then when someone buys a ticket, they don't want their ability to resell the ticket to be taken away from them. I've got a real easy, simple solution for all of this right here and now. If you buy a ticket and you decide you can't make it to the show, you can only list it for the face value that you bought it for.
Yep. Wow.
Oh my gosh, why is that so complicated?
That's
you can't
no.
You can't relist it for higher than you paid for it.
Like, before these two guys got together,
the problem that they're creating, though.
Before these two guys got together, ticket prices on average cost between $20 and $40. Even adjusted for inflation, back in the 50s, it's like $1.50.
Yep.
And that's what the sweet spot was. When these guys got together, all of a sudden it's, hundreds of dollars for ticket, or even thousands
of dollars now.
And you'll see scalpers will take an entire row and then they can't sell. So you'll have the stadium that is kind of patchworky, where the whole section's empty because nobody wanted to buy the scalper price on already a high ticket. But they get corporate sponsorships. See, Live Nation and Ticketmaster don't make money on concerts. They make money on Dunkin' Donuts, promoting their stuff, and they have a Dunkin' Donuts stuff there to give away, or whatever corporate entity is going to sponsor the event, sponsors this stuff. They make money on that. So everybody's getting screwed on this, and people are getting sick of it.
But it's funny when I see, I see some of these artists like Zach Bryan, Tyler Childers. I think even Iron Maiden said they're going to do it. Iron Maiden said for their tour coming up that they would not allow their tickets to be relisted at higher than face value. And it's like, why is this such a complicated concept to grasp? And the only thing I can possibly wrap my brain around is that every time that ticket changes hands, Ticketmaster's probably getting some sort of a percentage or some sort of a cut. Like the only reason why Ticketmaster won't put a stop to it is they've got to be making money somehow. Because why, unless you're making money, you could just be like, oh, here, let's just stop this problem. You can't relist it more than face value stuff. It's like, no, it's like if somebody buys a ticket for, we'll say $50, and then they really relist it at $1,000 and someone buys it, they've got to be taking a percentage on that. Otherwise, Ticketmaster would come in and go, nope, you can't do that. Like, what other reason would there be?
Well, if you look at it in the fact that they've allowed this problem to happen, and now their solution is, instead of the scalpers making all that money, now they have dynamic pricing. So Now they're making that money, and they've allowed it to get to the point where it's become a problem, and the solution is pay us, not them.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what I said. It's like where they're giving the artists the option to opt into the quote unquote dynamic pricing. Again, it's like the only reason would have to be is that they're getting a kickback on that somehow. Otherwise, they would be like, no, like if the ticket is $50, the ticket is $50 and that's it. Because there's no reason, there's literally no reason not to be like, and I get it, you know, things happen, life happens. You buy a concert ticket 6 months before the show, and then something happens where it's like, oh, my grandma died, I got to go out of state for a funeral or whatever. It's like, okay, maybe you can get a refund, maybe you can sell it, whatever. But it's like, if the ticket was $50, you should not be able to relist it for more than $50. And I don't think that's a very difficult concept to grasp. Like,
we did that. We went. We were going to go to a show, or we were going to go to a show, and we put it on back on that, and we sold it for what it was worth. You know. So
fucking Jacob coming in hot with the Seinfeld reference.
So we have a local theater called the Pabst Theater. They don't use Ticketmaster. They don't get into it. But then you get a problem because Live Nation and Ticketmaster make it easier for the artist to get in the venue. Mm-hmm. And if you don't use them, then it's harder for you to get people to come into your venue.
Yeah.
You know,
larger artists, they're not going to play the smaller, like the places that John and I like to go. You're not getting a large artist in there. They're going to be playing Sports Arena, which I fucking hate, or at one of the college.
Oh, the acoustics in that place are so bad. It's basically just like Sports Arena in San Diego is just like a big concrete circle where just like sound is bouncing off the walls and just like I saw Tool there once. I've seen Tool live so many times, but one time at the Sports Arena, I was like, I know their whole catalog forwards and backwards, and I'm like, I can't tell what songs they're playing because it's just like reverb, just echo. But then, yeah, like I said, the smaller venues like the Belly Up, like the Observatory, God, the Casbah, that's a really small capacity venue. Like really, really small capacity venues, they use third-party websites where you go and buy, like the tickets are $20 to $30, maybe like a $5 do they allow large singers? Like, no, I don't think the stages could support. I don't think the stage could support her. But some of the, like I said, like some of the more local venues that sell tickets for $20 to $30 for bands that come through in town, whether it's a local show, whether it's a band that is touring, but they're a smaller band, it's like $20 to $30, maybe like a $5 fee on top of that, and bada bing, bada boom, you're done. But
that's good. Yeah.
Those types of artists are not going to be playing the stadiums and the arenas, whatever. And then the bands that are playing the stadiums and the arenas aren't going to play those smaller venues for $30 a ticket, where it's all standing room only. And it's, you know, it's a big nightmare. It's a big monopoly. And
you have all the fees. If you look at your fee from Ticketmaster, you got convenience fee, online fee, this fee, that fee.
So I will say, as a native, born and raised Californian, as much as I hate California now, one thing, maybe one thing that they've done in recent years that was good was they passed a law where when it comes to concert tickets, hotel bookings, there's a couple different things where they have to disclose all of the fees up front. Because what it used to be, you'd go on your Ticketmaster, go on Live Nation, whatever, and it would say, oh, the ticket to this concert is only $30, and then you click purchase, and then it's like $20 service fee, $15 convenience fee, $10 just because fee, $5 what are you gonna do, not go to the concert fee, and like just all like fee, you know, everything, whatever.
So,
exactly. California, for once in its miserable life.
It's not like if you're saving any fucking money, though. You just know what you're paying for. You're not just
you're not saving any money, but you're at least they've added some transparency. They've added transparency to when you look at the price of a ticket. If you look at a concert ticket and it says $60, the ticket is $60, and then there's maybe plus some tax. Maybe some tax added on at the end, but there's not going to be like another $30 worth of fees added on top of that because they
like
made
the
it
resort
illegal.
fee we pay when we go to Las Vegas.
Vegas could probably still do it, but California, same thing with hotels. They eliminated all of that, where it's like they have to display everything in the price up front minus tax. So I can't believe it, and I can't believe I'm saying it, but California did one thing right in recent years. One thing. It's
like Nosferatu's dick. It's not that big a deal.
Well, we gotta back up here. We had some funny stuff that like I highlighted it, but you Roman, you're the one that typed it out there. You said it's like director framed it and gifted it to Nicholas Hoult.
Yep.
And Devon said that'd be my excuse too, and that's
my excuse was that it was a prosthetic.
That's what they said in the interview. And Jacob Ironside, I was in the pool. Seinfeld reference for the Devon, you're a little too young for that one.
What's the Seinfeld?
Shut up.
I
just love in that episode the Hamptons and the thing and George and I was in the pool and stuff. So then they pull Elaine aside and they're like do women know about shrinkage? And it's network TV, so they had to like be kind of PC about it, and they do the thing like down there and she it shrinks is like a frightened turtle.
Might be turtle.
I love like that. Just I feel like there's that fine line between where we're at in the world now, where things are actually like actively being censored, versus in the early to mid 90s, where shows it was just like there were just things like you couldn't do on like regular network TV, and how they creatively worked their way around things, but like you still got the point, you still got the joke, and it was actually kind of even funnier because they had to like imply rather than just like
back when
Stern do Seinfeld now. You couldn't do it. They would never put Seinfeld on the air.
No.
Back when Stern was funny back then because he had to get around censors.
Oh yeah, so back when he was actually edgy.
Yeah, so they were really good
Rage
about
for the Machine.
Now he is Nosferatu's dick.
Yeah, Howard Stern is one of those ones that like he was. I mean, he probably wasn't like the very first, but like he was one of the OG like pushing the boundaries, shock jock, whatever, all this stuff, everything. And like now he's just same thing. He's just raging. Now he's just raging for the machine, and it's like, bro, you were like the guy that would like have porn stars on your radio show and be like, oh yeah, just like take your top off, like just do this, just do that. Like now suddenly you're lecturing us on morals and like how to be good people and stuff. Like
I know, right?
Yeah, it's same thing with Jimmy Kimmel. Fallon Kimmel. Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel, the one that he was on the Man Show. Like you were on the Man Show, which we don't even need to get into that, but like all the many different things on TV.
Just the bad man Trump is coming.
You got your late night TV show and you're gonna lecture us on like morals and things and stuff. It's like, let's go back and look at when you dressed up in like the whole like Rastafari thing and had your face painted and stuff. And it's like, oh yeah, okay, let's talk about that. Like let's talk about the fact that you ended every single show with girls in bikinis jumping on trampolines, but now you're gonna lecture us about morals. Like
yeah.
It's always the degenerates that for some reason get to the end and they act like they have the moral high ground.
Yeah,
no, they've got it all figured out. Yeah, they're gonna tell the rest of us how to live our lives, and it's like, hold on a second. I remember when I was a teenager and I was watching your show.
It's amazing.
Oh, Jimmy Kimmel. Oh, Howard Stern.
I hate Jimmy Kimmel. I hate all those late night guys. Now,
they're not funny.
Every single one of them. There's not one that has value.
Did you guys see the clip though? Like, did you watch the clip? It was like the morning after the election when he like got all like choked up and like, oh my god, it was hilarious.
That was amazing.
And like everything he listed off, he's like, it was a bad night for the elderly, it was a bad night for children, it was a bad night. And he like listed off all these people, and like all the comments were like, actually, it was a good night for all of those people because the people that you support are, it's not good. It's not good. We're still waiting for the Epstein list. Now we're waiting for the Diddy list. Like
Cash Patel.
I know, right?
but just all, oh, it was a bad night for children. It was a bad night for the elderly.
I
It was a
know.
bad night for the poor. And I'm like, I don't know, like I'm pretty poor, but I'm thinking that in the coming months, I'm probably going to have a little bit more money left over in my pocket after I pay my bills. Fingers crossed. Like, you know, I think things are going to be a little bit better coming up soon. But, you know, I just said, well, you know, I think maybe it was just a bad night for the people on all of them lists that they don't want to be made public. Yeah, good times.
All right.
Well, I think that was about all I had planned for the night.
That was good. You hit a lot of wickets tonight. We went from Soundgarden's Whale to Nosferatu's Dick to Gavin Newsom and electric cars. We were all over the place. It was great.
We were on a journey together, people.
We were all on a journey, and you guys are all here with us. Yeah, and all the other lists we don't know about yet, and that's a good point, Jacob. Like, you want to talk about like just the stuff that we've heard about, like,
oh yeah, there's no shit.
They start disclosing this stuff, there might be a lot more horrible things out
floodgates.
there. Oh god, like this isn't even draining the swamp anymore. This is opening the floodgates.
50 to 80% of Hollywood just shut down because they're all a bunch of weird pedophiles.
Well, it's like the ones that have actually left the country so far probably really know they're guilty, and then the rest of them, they always threaten to leave, but they never actually go. And you know, it's like, I'll pack your bags, I'll help you. Let's load up the truck. Let's go, get on out of here. You know, but yeah, just the tip of the iceberg. I think you're probably not wrong, which is really disturbing to think about, but you're not wrong, Jacob. But yeah, let's go ahead and call it a night. And Roman, now that you're back from the dead, or back from whatever,
I am.
What do you have going on this week?
Look, thanks for having me back. I appreciate it. Always enjoy being on.
You were this close to getting fired.
I know. They almost got me.
I was just going to start bringing in Shield Wall every week and be like,
he's a better replacement than I am a regular, to be fair. So I would have him on instead. So tomorrow night over on Jacob Ironside's channel at 5, we're doing episodes 1 and 2 of season 2 of X-Files. This is episode 2 is my favorite X-Files episode ever. It is called The Host. It has the Fluke Man in it. If you have not seen the Fluke Man episode, damn, you got to watch it. But don't watch it while you're eating. It makes Nosferatu's dick look pretty cool. So, and also and Thursday, our usually scheduled show, 5 Pacific Standard, we are starting our series of Riddick movies with Pitch Black. That's going to be fun. We've got James Harris, the Ginger Ninja, is going to be on doing some art while we're doing the show. So it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a nice back in the saddle show.
Going to get back in your rhythm from taking, what did you take, 2 weeks off?
Took 2 weeks off. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Off. Yeah. All right.
I didn't die, folks. I'm still alive. I'm still alive.
We keep trying, but it keeps coming back.
It was questionable there for a minute. We didn't really know what happened to you. We're like, Roman might still be alive. We're not really sure. No one's heard from him, but you know, he's
schedule
still
something else
kicking.
for Thursday.
Over there. Yeah. All right. And Blair, what do you got going on, buddy?
Tomorrow I'm doing Diabolical Souls. Gooch.
Oh, nice.
We're going to do episodes 3 to 4 of Primal. So, yeah.
All right. Right on. Let's see. Lady Marine says the only X-Files episode that I had to turn away from was where it started out with a doctor performing liposuction on the wrong patient and wouldn't stop. I'm going to be honest. I've never watched a single episode of the X-Files, so I don't know what you guys are talking about. But
that's because you're young and you suck.
And stupid. Both of you.
Hey, fair enough.
Hey.
All right.
You know,
Loser.
I'll accept that. Hey, you get out. You make sure to downvote and unsubscribe like you always do. That's your job. Every week, downvote and unsubscribe.
Someone needs to ban her. Kidding.
Yeah, you know, we would, but we love her. We love having her here.
We have to.
Yeah, it's, you know, Devon, I don't imagine you're joining anyone else this week, but
no, I don't have any friends.
No, just me. You're stuck with me.
I
But I
you,
have started adding a link into the description of these videos where if you want to go check out Devon or Salmond Outdoors photography, it is for sale on a website that he has set up in various different formats. So check the links in the description. Go check out his photos. You can buy his photos of birds and other things that are not real.
Birds are not real.
Birds are not real.
Horses. Horses are also fake.
But yeah, I will be back on here. What day is it? Monday. I'll be back on here Wednesday after work beers, and then thing that I've been doing for I guess a couple months now. When I do have gigs, I try to live stream gigs of music and whatnot and stuff. I pull them down when they're done because all the copyright stuff. Sometimes YouTube kicks me out in the middle of the stream because of all the copyright stuff. But I'll have after work beers on Wednesday. I got a gig on Friday. So keep an eye on the channel, keep an eye on the community posts, ring the bell for notifications, all that good stuff so you get notified when I go live and whatnot. But for now, I think we're all going to go ahead and say good night. Happy Monday. Happy New Year. I swear that's the last time I'm going to say it because we're already like almost a full week past New Year's. But we'll see you guys.
Almost.
If not next Monday, we'll see you on Wednesday. We'll see you on Friday. Good night. Hope you guys all enjoy the rest of your week. Cheers.
Take off, you hosers.
Be excellent to each other.
This has been Late to the Party News. Make sure to like and share this video for others to see. Subscribe to the channel and set notifications to all so you get notified every time we go live or post a new video. Thanks and good night.